इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत हम सबसे पहले अपने अतिथियों को यहाँ आमंत्रित करके करेंगे। ये एक नई पहल देखने को यहाँ मिल रही है आगरा में कि हम बेल साउंड करके इस कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करेंगे, क्योंकि ये परंपरा किसी भी अच्छे कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत हम ईश्वर को याद करके कामना करके करते हैं। तो उसी कड़ी में ये बेल साउंडिंग की गोपाल गुप्ता सर के द्वारा ये इनिशिएटिव लिया गया है कि जैसे ही हमने सर से कहा क्या सर दीप प्रज्वलन है, क्योंकि जनरली हम लोग कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत दीप प्रज्वलित करके करते हैं, तो उन्होंने कहा इस परंपरा को अब थोड़ा सा हम चेंज कर रहे हैं आगरा में। और पूरन डावर सर और गोपाल सर की सर उसके पीछे भी एक थॉट है वो तो ये एक अच्छी है। हम पहले बेल साउंड करके यहाँ शुरुआत करेंगे, फिर हम अपने अतिथियों का सम्मान करेंगे, अभिनंदन करेंगे और उसके बाद हम अपने अतिथियों के द्वारा एड्रेस और प्रेजेंटेशन की तरफ आगे बढ़ेंगे। आप में से किसी के भी ऐसे सवाल रिलेटेड टू द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, रिलेटेड टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, डॉक्टर अजय सहाय सर इज़ हियर। तो अगर आपको लगता है कोई ऐसी रिप्रेजेंटेशन किसी पॉलिसी में, किसी स्कीम्स में करने की आवश्यकता है, देन आप हमको दे सकते हैं रिप्रेजेंटेशन, सो दैट वी कैन टेक इट अप विद द कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट्स। टुडेज प्रोग्राम आउटरीच सेशन ऑन FTAs-Driven export acceleration, trade opportunities in emerging India. Today we have with us Dr. Ajay Sahai, Director General and Chief Executive Officer, Federation of Indian Export Organization, who is the chief guest of today's program. We have with us Mr. SVS Nagendra Kumar, General Manager, State Bank of India, Network 3. We have also with us Mr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, Deputy General Manager, State Bank of India, Agra Zone. And we have also with us Mr. Puneet Sharma, AGM SME Agra. We have with us Shri पूरन डावर सर। इससे पहले कार्यक्रम की हम शुरुआत करें, मैं यहाँ पर आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगा जो हमारे कार्यक्रम के शुभारंभ करने की जो परंपरा है कि हम बेल साउंड करके इस कार्यक्रम का विधिवत शुभारंभ करेंगे। यस, आवश्यकता है आज के करंट सिनेरियो में। इसी कड़ी में हमारे सारे अतिथि, विशिष्ट अतिथि अपना समय निकाल करके आए हैं और हम दूसरी कड़ी की तरफ बढ़ेंगे तो हम अपने अतिथियों का हार्दिक अभिनंदन एवं सम्मान करेंगे। Thank you all the guests and the dignitaries who are present here. Respected dignitaries, distinguished leaders of Agra Footwear Manufacturing Exporter Chamber, Trade Association, exporters and members of Agra. Good evening everyone. Myself Alok Srivastav, Assistant Director and Head of Federation of Indian Export Organization, Uttar Pradesh Office. Dear participants, dear guests, as we all know that India is the fourth largest economy in the world. Our GDP is growing fast, infrastructure is improving, manufacturing is expanding. When a country economy grows faster with its exports, it creates space for new startups, new entrepreneurs, new exporters and new global brand as well. India's aims to become developed economy by 2047. As Viksit Bharat, we all have to come forward and play a proactive role. The government of India is actively taking on policy reforms with aim to become a $5 trillion economy and a global economic powerhouse in next few years. This further requires a strong engagement with the stakeholders to explore and identify new opportunities to chip in the domestic and global supply chain. The Indian export sector has witnessed remarkable growth in recent years, driven by a combination of government initiatives, skilled workforce, and diverse range of products and services. Dear friends, we all know that we cannot ignore the global headwinds that continue to challenge our export sectors. Geopolitical tensions, supply chain disruptions, sluggish demand across the major economies, and rising cost of logistics and shipping have created a complex and uncertain environment. The agreement provides Free trade agreement provides MSMEs with unprecedented opportunities through tariff reductions, market diversification, and integration into global value chains. MSMEs are the major employers in labor-intensive sectors, with strong presence in textile, leather, engineering, handicraft, agriculture, processing, pharma components, including IT-enabled services, professional services, and many more. India's free trade agreement strategy has shifted from engagement to targeted market access driven partnerships, especially with emerging and high growth regions. The focus is on tariff elimination, supply chain integration, export diversification, and strategic positioning. The objective of today's session aims to highlight tariff advantages available under key free trade agreements, India's FTA strategy unlocking emerging markets, MSME integration into global supply chain trade agreements, and MSME's participation. Today's session also discussed about the newly announced export promotion mission with the budget of 25,060 crore over the period of 6 years. If we talk about key emerging markets, India is unlocking through Middle East through SEPA model, which is totally disturbed nowadays, gateway to Gulf and African markets through Oman SEPA, Indo-Pacific access through Australia ACTA, New Zealand FTA, developed markets and emerging opportunities through UK CETA, large consumer markets through European Union, mother of all trade deals, smaller but high value market through India TIPA, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, and proposed BTA with United States. Through these tariff advantages, India aims to strengthen exports growth, enhance integration into value chains, and diversify its trading partnership. When we discussed with the Gopal sir and the Puran Dawar sir, they said that there is a huge, tremendous opportunities. Exporters are diversifying their products, their markets into new emerging countries. That's why the need of the today's program is arises. Then we requested Dr. Ajay Sahai, DG and CEO sir, for spare his valuable time, so that today he is here. Moving ahead, now I would like to request Shri Gopal Gupta sir, President AGRA Footwear Manufacturer Exporter Chamber, for his welcome address. ये पूरा प्रोग्राम की जो थीम है वो गोपाल सर के नेतृत्व में यहाँ पर की जा रही है, और ये प्रोग्राम हमारे सभी स्टेक होल्डर, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया और इंडिया फैक्टरिंग और अदर हमारे डावर सर, फीओ और बाकी CLE और सभी हमारे बीच में अनुज कुमार सर बैठे हुए हैं, सभी के सहयोग से किया जा रहा है। ओवर टू यू गोपाल गुप्ता सर।
आप सबका स्वागत है इस सेशन में। एक शॉर्ट नोटिस के में भी आप सब लोग हाजिर हो गए। मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ डॉक्टर अजय साई जी का, जो डीजे और CEO हैं FTO के, GM साहब जो स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया है, DGM साहब, AGM सर, इंडिया फैक्टरिंग से मिस्टर अनुज, आप सबका स्वागत है। फेलो डियर मेंबर्स, एक बार किसी विद्वान से पूछा गया कि पॉइजन क्या है, तो उसने जवाब दिया कि अगर आपके पास पर्याप्त मात्रा से ज़्यादा ज्ञान का भंडार है, मुद्रा है, या अगर ज़्यादा है, मात्रा में है, तो आप अगर उसको शेयर नहीं करेंगे तो वो पॉइजन में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है। इसी विचारधारा को डॉक्टर अजय साय रखते हैं और वो अपने ज्ञान का यहाँ पर शेयर करना चाहते हैं, जिससे सब लोग को लाभ मिले, लाभान्वित हो। स्टेट बैंक से आए ऑफिशियल्स वो अपने बारे में बताएंगे कि फाइनेंस किस तरह से अवेलेबल है, और इंडिया फैक्टरिंग वाले बताएंगे कि आपको कि किस तरह से इंडिया फैक्टरिंग से बेनिफिट दिया जा सकता है। और इंडिया फैक्टरिंग में भी सबमिशन शुरू हो गया है, गवर्नमेंट ने अभी रिसेंटली अनाउंस किया है। तो मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं और अभिनंदन करता हूं, आप आए, आप इसका सेशन का पूरा लाभ उठाएं, ये मेरी कामना है। थैंक यू।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री गोपाल गुप्ता सर, आपके उद्बोधन से जरूर, जैसा कि आपने कहा, हमारे जो उद्यमी, हमारे निर्यातक हैं वो लाभान्वित होंगे। और मैं आप सभी को पुनः अवगत कराना चाहता हूं कि ये जो प्रोग्राम है इसमें फर्स्ट विल गो थ्रू विद द प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ डॉक्टर अजय सहाय, देन वी रिक्वेस्ट द ऑफिशियल्स फ्रॉम द स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया for address and the presentation. Then we request Mr. Anuj from the India Factoring for his presentation about the export factoring. Moving ahead, now I'd like to request Shri Puran Dawar sir for his address about the AGRA's export ecosystem और जो challenges, जो चुनौतियां हमारे उद्यमी फेस कर रहे हैं उसके बारे में डावर सर ब्रीफ करें।
Very good evening. The dignities of the day. Today we have very multi-dimensional dignities here. Mr. Ajay Sahai, who is a ITS officer, who served industry as a DGFT, as a government officer, who was the instrumental in formulating the policies, who was instrumental in executing the policies. Now, he is the instrumental in pleading the policies as a Director General FIO. मैं आपका स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूँ. The dignities of the day, without the bank, nobody can move. None but India's the largest bank and the general manager himself, Mr. Nagendra Kumar is here. I welcome you, sir. I welcome DGM, Sanjay Singh sir, Puneet, Anuj Kumar. May I always say कि आगरा का सौभाग्य है कि डायरेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज के रूप में अनुज कुमार जैसा व्यक्तित्व मिला है. फैक्टरिंग के बिना मुझे लगता है कि एक रिस्क फ्री एक्सपोर्ट नहीं किया जा सकता. उसके लिए आज यहाँ इंडिया फैक्टरिंग की टीम भी है, यहाँ प्रेजेंटेशन करेगी. आई विल बी कीपिंग वेरी ब्रीफ because we have the multi-dimensional speakers to speak, esteemed speakers and team AFMEC and my fellow exporters. Today's outreach program पिछले कुछ वर्षों से लगातार आप देख रहे हैं कि एक बार सी हर महीने कोई ना कोई प्रयास रहता है कि सरकार जो नीतियां इस समय बना रही है, जो नई नीतियां बन रही हैं, जिस तरह से ग्लोबल स्टेज पर एफर्ट्स हो रहे हैं, उन नीतियों को आप तक कैसे पहुंचाया जाए और उनका फायदा कैसे लें. और विशेष तौर पर अगर देखेंगे तो फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स के माध्यम से जितनी अपॉर्चुनिटी हमको मिलने जा रही है, अगर उनको समझने का प्रयास न किया, मोटिवेट होने का प्रयास न किया, खड़ा होने का प्रयास न किया, तो कहीं ना कहीं लायबिलिटीज बन सकती हैं. इंपोर्ट ज़्यादा हो सकता है, एक्सपोर्ट कम हो सकता है. हम आत्मनिर्भर भारत की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं. मैं तो ये कहता हूं हमेशा कि हम स्वतंत्रता के दूसरे दौर में, जो आर्थिक स्वतंत्रता के दौर में बढ़ रहे हैं. और कोई भी देश आत्मनिर्भर भारत, आत्मनिर्भर देश नहीं बन सकता जब तक कि उसका बैलेंस ऑफ ट्रेड सरप्लस ना हो. एक्सपोर्ट के महत्व को, इम्पोर्टेंस को हम अच्छी तरह से समझ सकते हैं. एक्सपोर्ट हमारे लिए कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है. अभी एक वार सिचुएशन आई और इस वार सिचुएशन में हमारा इंपोर्ट की वैल्यू लगभग 2 गुनी से भी ऊपर हो सकती है, क्योंकि जो ऑयल इस समय $60 पर चल रहा था, वो $100 को क्रॉस कर चुका है. एनर्जी की डिमांड हमेशा कंट्री पर रहनी है. उस स्थिति में, ऐसी स्टेज में एक एक्सपोर्ट का रोल और अधिक बढ़ जाता है. ये जो आउटरीच प्रोग्राम अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो हमें मिली है, वर्ल्ड इज कंप्लीटली बुलिश अबाउट इंडिया. पूरा वर्ल्ड एक बहुत बड़ी मार्केट के रूप में भी इंडिया को देखता है और एक बड़े वर्ल्ड के लिए एक फैक्ट्री के रूप में भी देखता है, पर्टिकुलरली कंज्यूमर गुड्स की फैक्ट्री के रूप में देखता है. अभी हम लोगों को अगर देखें, हम लोग फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्री से हैं. फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्रीज अभी तक करीब $26 बिलियन पर आंकी जाती है. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा नंबर्स पर बात नहीं करूंगा कि नंबर्स, क्योंकि इतने एनकरेजिंग नंबर्स नहीं हैं और नंबर्स एक क्लिक पर अवेलेबल भी हैं. और जहाँ पीओ के डायरेक्टर जनरल हों, वहाँ तो एक एक आर्टिकल का, एक एक कमोडिटी का आपको नंबर यहाँ मिलने ही वाला है. लेकिन इम्पोर्टेंस ये है कि एक ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्री, एक दस्तकार इंडस्ट्री कही जाने वाली इंडस्ट्री $26 बिलियन की इंडस्ट्री में बदल सकती है. जिसमें $6 बिलियन का एक्सपोर्ट है और $20 बिलियन अभी हमारा डोमेस्टिक है। मैं बात कर रहा था कि वर्ल्ड इज क्वाइट बुलिश अबाउट इंडिया। हम लोगों ने जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स और DPIIT के साथ में बैठ करके एक जो टारगेट सेट किए इस फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्री के लिए, और फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्री के लिए टारगेट सेट हुआ वो $50 बिलियन बाई 2030, जिसमें $14 बिलियन ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट एंड $36 बिलियन ऑफ डोमेस्टिक ट्रेड। बस इस तरह से ग्लोबल ट्रेड रिसर्च इंडेक्स जो GTI के जो रिपोर्ट्स हैं, GTI की रिपोर्ट 2030 तक इंडिया की फुटवेयर एंड लेदर इंडस्ट्री को $90 बिलियन तक आंकती है। तो वर्ल्ड हमको बहुत तेजी से देख रहा है, वॉच कर रहा है, और अपॉर्चुनिटीज जिस तरह से बढ़ रही हैं, मुझे लगता है कि अभी तक जितने ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स हुए हैं, 12, 13, 14 ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट FTAs हम लोग कर चुके हैं, उनका फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्री को शायद बहुत बड़ा फ़ायदा अभी न मिला हो, लेकिन UK जो हमारी ट्रेडिशनल मार्केट है, सबसे पहला मार्केट रही, और वो 30 मार्च से और इम्प्लीमेंट होने जा रही है। तो वी आर श्योर वी विल बी हैविंग ए बिग जंप। वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर आवरसेल्फ, अपनी कैपेसिटीज, और उसके बाद में जो 27 देशों के साथ में एक साथ हमारा फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट जो अभी 27 जनवरी को हुआ, जिसको मदर ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड डील्स कहा गया, मुझे लगता है कि उससे बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी कोई हो नहीं सकती। अभी $15 बिलियन के ट्रेड सरप्लस पर है हम यूरोप के साथ में। यूरोप भी चाहता है कि उनका ट्रेड, उनका एक्सपोर्ट इंडिया को 120 बिलियन तक पहुंचे 60 से। हम चाहते हैं 75 से हम 150 तक नहीं, बल्कि उसको मल्टीपल ग्रोथ में लेकर के जाएं। और जिस तरह से एक वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर बदल रहा है, जिस तरह से अमेरिका टैरिफ वॉर की तरफ चल रहा है, और यूरोप अगली परचेजिंग पावर आगे बन सकता है, और एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी हमारे पास है एक फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट की। हम जल्दी ही विद इन नेक्स्ट 4 to 6 मंथ ज़ीरो ड्यूटी पर अपना एक्सपोर्ट करने वाले हैं। US के साथ में भी BTA हो चुका है, और उस BTA में अभी थोड़ा सा इस ट्रांजिशन पीरियड में अनसर्टेन पोजीशन अवश्य है, लेकिन डेफिनेटली विद USA ऑल्सो वी विल बी इन द लीडिंग पोजीशन। एक बड़ी मार्केट हमारे पास USA की भी आ रही है, और जिस तरह से अभी वॉर सिचुएशन के बाद में जिस तरह से वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर बदलने वाले हैं, इंडिया का महत्व जिस तरह से इम्पोर्टेंस बनने वाली है, बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं। उस अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ को एनकैश करने के लिए हम लोगों को अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करना होगा, और इस तरह से प्रिपेयर करने के लिए दिस काइंड ऑफ द आउटरीच प्रोग्राम्स आर वेरी वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड दिस प्ले वेरी बिग रोल। जो आज ये जो शुरुआत मैंने कहा था, इसके पीछे भी एक सोच है। दीप जला करके नहीं, अभी अब हमको शुभारंभ नहीं करना। एक घंटा बजाना, और घंटा बजाने की प्रथा कहाँ से शुरू हुई? ये स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में चलती है, स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में। और आगरा की इंडस्ट्री जो MSME इंडस्ट्री है, उसको न केवल नेशनल इंडस्ट्री में बदलना है, अपने आप को एक लिमिटेड कंपनी में ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है, बल्कि ग्लोबल इंडस्ट्री तक ले जाना है। एक घंटा उसका सिंबल है। और एक दूसरा हम शुभारंभ, अब हम एक्सपोर्ट का शुभारंभ नहीं करने जा रहे हैं। एक कहते हैं कि जलाओ वहाँ जहाँ रोशनी की ज़रूरत हो, जलाओ वहाँ जहाँ रोशनी की ज़रूरत हो। उजालों में चिरागों के मायने नहीं होते, यहाँ सबके सामने उजाला ही उजाला है, इसमें चिरागों के मायने नहीं होते। इसमें आवश्यकता है इस घंटे की, और अपने आप को एक ग्लोबल मार्केट में स्थापित करने की। आगरा के बारे में अगर हम नंबर्स के बारे में बात करें तो नंबर्स पिछले कुछ वर्षों से स्टैग्नेंट है। पूरा मुझे लगता है कि हर सारी कमोडिटी में स्टैग्नेंट है, और नेशनल सिनेरियो को भी देखेंगे तो स्टैग्नेंट है। आगरा सीधे जो है 4000 करोड़ से ऊपर का एक्सपोर्ट करता है, और 1000 करोड़ हम मर्चेंट एक्सपोर्टर्स के माध्यम से करते हैं। लगभग 5000 करोड़ का एक्सपोर्ट फुटवियर की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, और फुटवियर के अलावा यहाँ से इंजीनियरिंग गुड्स भी हैं, यहाँ से कारपेट भी है, और पर्यटन में भी, और हैंडीक्राफ्ट का भी यहाँ से बड़ा निर्यात है। और आज का ये जो सेमिनार है, आज का जो आउटरीच प्रोग्राम है, एक डेफिनेटली एक किसी नई छलांग के लिए जो हमने घंटा बजा करके एक उम्मीद जाहिर जगाई है, एक नई दिशा अवश्य देगा। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ में मैंने कहा था कि मैं अपने आप को ब्रीफ रखूँगा, क्योंकि हमें अपने फाइनेंस को कैसे स्ट्रेंथ करना है उसको भी सुनना है, अपने आप को सेव कैसे करना है उनको भी सुनना है, और पॉलिसीज़ क्या हैं। और फीओ चूँकि एक बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म जो न केवल फुटवियर बल्कि इंडिया के टोटल एक्सपोर्ट को जो रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, और जिस तरह से जहाँ जहाँ प्लीड करने की आप ज़रूरत है, किन किन और पॉलिसीज़ में कहाँ कहाँ इंटरवेंशन की आवश्यकता है, ये सब हमारे अजय साहब बताएंगे। एक बार बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अजय साहब, स्टेट बैंक की पूरी टीम, और जिन लोगों ने भी इस इवेंट को सपोर्ट किया, और ऑल माय एक्सपोर्टर फेलोज हु आर हियर, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, Purandavar sir, for your detailed insight about the scenarios. आपने सही कहा, दीप जलाकर तो हम स्वागत सम्मान करते ही हैं, लेकिन आज का जो समय की मांग है वो घंटा बजाकर लोगों को जगाने की आवश्यकता है। तो राइटली यू मेंशन्ड, डियर एक्सपोर्टर्स, बिफोर वी रिक्वेस्ट our chief guest of the day for his detailed presentation and address about the India's exports opportunities, we request, आप सभी जानते हैं FIO is the apex organization under the Department of Commerce, Government of India covered. FIO is the only organization in the country who covers multiple products and the services both. Those who are not member of FIO is the India's premier institutions for international trade. FIO issues certificate of origin, FIO issues APTA, as Asia Pacific Trade Agreement, FIO issues SAPTA and non-preferential certificate, FIO issues visa, business visa recommendation letters to our members. FIO trains MSMEs on capacity building and export readiness program, facilitating government support incentives. FIO also facilitate B2B meetings, buyer-seller meetings, interaction and networking opportunities with the overseas buyers. We also take up the issue with burning issues of the Indian industry and the exporters with the concerned department at higher level through Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Textile, Ministry of अभी आप लोगों ने देखा कि मिडिल ईस्ट में जब से डिस्ट्रप्शंस हुआ तो अवर डीजी एंड सीईओ रिक्वेस्टेड डायरेक्टर जनरल शिपिंग, और एक हम लोगों ने वर्चुअल मीटिंग्स बुलाई, और जो भी रिलीफ मेजर्स हमारे इंडियन इंडस्ट्री एक्सपोर्टर्स को पास ऑन किए जा सकते थे, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ शिपिंग हैज़ गिवन द नेसेसरी रिलीफ मेजर्स टू आवर मेंबर्स. दोज हु आर नॉट मेंबर्स, वी रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू काइंडली जॉइन अस विद द FIO. FIO is a mother organization. If we say all export promotion councils chairmen are our in board, so we request all of you to please associate with the FIO. Now I would like to request Dr. DG and CEO. Before we request him, I would like to request all of you for a huge round of applause for Dr. Ajay Sahai, who has spared his valuable time. DG and CEO, sir, please.
Shri Gopal Gupta, Chairman AFMEC, Shri Puran Dabar, Regional Chairman CLE Northern Region, Shri Vasan, Vice Chairman AFMEC, Shri Sehgal, Vice Chairman CLE, GM State Bank of India, DGM State Bank of India, Mr. Anuj Gupta, Government of UP, Mr. Anuj representing Factoring India Company, other distinguished representative of trade and industries, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and privilege for me to be here, and I am humbled by the kind of reception which has been extended to me. Global trade is facing huge headwinds, geopolitical challenges, increasing protectionism, rising volatility. these are impacting not only the global trade, but they are also compounding the problem of the exporters. Despite these challenges, exports have done reasonably well. When I'm looking into a time frame of 5 years, India clocked a compound annual growth rate of around 8.4%. The trade data has come today, and despite all these constraints, Indian exports have clocked 6% growth in the first 11 months of the current year, taking overall export to $791 billion. And despite the hit which we will take in the merchandise sector because of the challenges of the Middle East, we are confident that we will be reaching the new milestone of $850 billion. But that's not enough. We are looking into much challenging target for exports. We want to take India's export to $2 trillion by 2032. In the process, we will be creating million jobs into the country. Bear in mind that the biggest challenge before the country is the jobless growth. We are growing, but it is not reflected in the jobs which are required. The number of people who are adding to the job markets, they are not getting the jobs. And that's a challenge probably where the private sector has to come forward. Government has a limitation in creating the jobs. Government can at best provide the required skilling to enable those people to get a job, but probably the private sector has to excel to accommodate them in the market. There are a couple of global factors also which are helping India, and realignment, recalibration of the global value chain is definitely going to help India a lot. US is making a very conscious effort to bypass China in the realignment of the global value chain. And if any country who has the resources, potential and capability to replace China is definitely India. But whether we will be able to do or not will depend on the kind of ecosystem which is developed into the country. As a part of that, government also looked into the free trade agreement, and our focus has definitely come on the free trade agreement. We were a great votary of the multilateral system of trading, and that's why initially we were reluctant to join the race for the FTAs. But then we realized that over 60% of the global trade happens through the regional trading blocks. And that kind of trading arrangement also helped the country in integrating into the global value chain. We also realized that probably the WTO is not delivering what is expected from the WTO. And we also want to become a hub of the global manufacturing. So there has been a complete revisit in the government strategy on the free trade agreement post, I will say, 2021. What is the distinct change? The distinct change is now we are looking into the free trade agreement with the countries who A, are my complementary economies, and B, our major exports market. So we have formed up one with UAE, we have formed up with Australia, we have formed with the European Free Trade Association, we have signed with UK, which is likely to be ratified by the second house also of the parliament by the end of May or maybe by the first week of April. We have signed with the EU also, which may take roughly a year to fructify. And in all these, probably the MSME sector will not face the hit. One of the biggest problem which Indian FTA strategy faced was the fact that we initially went with the FTA with the countries who were very strong in manufacturing, be it ASEAN, be it South Korea, be it Japan. And we landed in a situation where the export growth could not match with the import growth, and there was an opposition to the free trade agreement. That to a large extent has been addressed now. So if I look into my export strategy, and when we started using the FTA, initially we started with SAFTA, but the inter-SAFTA trade is absolutely minuscule. The first real FTA for India was the India-ASEAN FTA. Unfortunately, the FTA was signed in 2010, but for next 5 years we struggled to bring services under the FTA. Only in 2015, services also brought under the Indo-ASEAN FTA, and from there we have some kind of adjustment of increasing exports of the services by adjusting with the goods imports. We also gone for the bilateral agreement also, starting with Singapore, we followed with Malaysia, South Korea and Japan. But as I told you now, after 2021, we have become extremely aggressive in the FTAs. These are the FTAs which we concluded prior to 2021, and here you must see that many of them are very strong manufacturing countries, which led to the import growth. But post 2021, when we signed one agreement with the Mauritius, we followed it with number of FTAs. We have already formed up with New Zealand. We have formed with European Union, which may be ratified over a period of time. We have also formed up with the United States. Now with the reciprocal tariff coming at 10%, our BTA at 18% has created an anomaly. I'm pretty sure the government will engage with the US and try to get this anomaly corrected. We have also one with the UK, which will be ratified very shortly, and it will probably help the leather sector to a great extent. We have one with the Oman. We have signed one with the FTA countries also. With UAE, Australia, it is already operational, and with that, probably we have an FTA with roughly 2/3 of our global trade countries. So roughly 65% of India's exports will get covered under the free trade agreement when it becomes fully operational. But we are not happy with that. We are looking into other countries also. Our focus is not just to be confined to UAE and Oman. We want to look into the entire GCC country. Our GCC trade is over $175 billion. Our export to GCC is over $55 billion. It's an extremely good market, and with 10 million Indians in GCC, we have a diaspora to support Indian exports for long term to come. We are also expanding our free trade agreement with Mercosur country, including Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay. We are looking into Eurasian Economic Union, covering Armenia, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, and Russia is an extremely important market for us. We have rolled out the rupee payment mechanism also to support our exports. It will take few years to fructify, but inquiries from Russia is increasing, and good part is that 2 of the Russian banks has got their presence also in New Delhi to promote this trade. We are also penetrating our FTA with Chile and Peru. We have started negotiation with Canada very recently. We are firming up with Israel, though of course Israel is right now involved in the war, so that has been delayed. The short point which I am making is that government is looking into providing Indian exporter either a level playing field or a competitive edge in any of the market. And I'm pretty sure this kind of change has been brought because Indian industry feel competent and competitive to face the imports also. Please bear in mind that in negotiation, it's a position of give and take. Unless your domestic industry gives the negotiator the elbow room to concede on import front, you will not be getting the market access for exports. With the Indian manufacturing becoming competitive, we have that leverage which the government is encashing in to come also. Now, when I'm looking into the FTA just not only means the reduction of tariff, though of course the tariff reduction is an important part of that. Related with the tariff, we are also looking into the market access, because even if you have the tariff advantage, if the market access is not there, it virtually leads us to nowhere. That's why in all the agreement which we are negotiating with the countries, we are looking into what are the market access issues, and at the same time, we are negotiating on those issues also. FTA is also an instrument to attract the foreign investment into the country. Because if you have an FTA and global manufacturing move to India, the manufacturer can look for India's FTA engagement to increase its market abroad. This has been successfully exploited by Hyundai. I remember when Hyundai came to India, we had just signed the FTA with South Korea. They brought the technology under the free trade agreement. They produced cars in India, bringing the components and part initially from the South Korea, and then they exported also car back to the South Korea. Today, India wants to emerge as a global hub of manufacturing. There are large companies who are moving to India not just to meet the domestic requirement, they want to use India, taking the competitive manufacturing which the country provides for the global selling also, and there FTA plays a very important role. This definitely has boosted the sector, and not only the labor intensive sector, but also the sunrise sector, particularly the pharma and IT, has been the beneficiary of these kinds of investment. You all recall that India's FDI has crossed $100 billion, though of course it had taken hit, and recently it is hovering around $80 billion. We have seen FDI moving to the manufacturing also, though in the initial period, FDI was by and large confined more to the services sector. There are challenges also which the domestic industry is facing, because FTA with zero duty imports is creating a situation where domestic industry is paying duty on the inputs, whereas the finished goods are coming at zero duty. That's why government is looking into the rationalization of the tariff in a big way, and there is move to reduce the tariff across the length and breadth of the industries also. They are following a three-tier strategy where the finished goods have to be put at a higher level, followed by intermediate and followed by raw material. They are also looking into where the free trade agreement is creating a problem and trying to address that through some kind of end use notification also. The FTA has also created a problem of trade deficit with the partner countries, but since my overall trade deficit is not increasing, I am not worried about that. If business move from X country to Y country with whom we have the FTA, we are not much worried about that. I am getting benefit of the imports at a lesser cost, which is adding to the competitiveness of my manufacturing and also my exports also. So overall impact of the FTA on export is definitely plus. Overall impact on the manufacturing is also positive, though in the short run, industry faces the challenge. But probably industry has to look into that. If India is going for the FTA, there is no distinction between selling into domestic market and export, because competition will be as tough whether you are protecting the domestic turf or you are selling into global market, and that's why we are seeing increasing export expansion of the domestic industry also. Now, it is not just it is confined to the goods, but even in the services, we are seeing FTA benefiting a lot. You must have seen that India, who was leading supplier in IT and IT-enabled services, have moved to the global capability centers. We are providing the jobs to Indian entrepreneurs, Indian professionals, providing them a value-added services within our own countries. The GCC export from India has already crossed 50 billion mark. Last year we are looking into to take to 100 billion by 2030. GCCs are moving from metropolitan to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and government is providing an ecosystem for that to happen. We are also seeing India moving to number of professional services. If you go to places like Gurgaon, you will see that the ed tech and legal tech companies are providing services from India to UK and EU, and they are paid very well in that basis. We are looking into higher services export. We are looking into India emerging as a knowledge economy, and we are seeing increased remittances also with these exports. Now, let me touch few of the FTA which are important. It won't be possible for me to touch all the FTA. India-UK FTA is extremely important because one house of the UK Parliament has already ratified it. The second is expected to ratify by the end of this month, and therefore it is expected to be operational in and around 1st of April, you can very well say, which will provide roughly 99% of India's export to UK at zero tariff, which currently ranges between 4 to 18%. So Indian exports which are facing tariff of 4 to 18% will have a zero tariff. In short, you will be competing with the best of the countries. With the countries who have an FTA, you will have a zero duty. With the countries who are not having an FTA, you will have an upper edge over those countries. For example, with UK, with Vietnam, since Vietnam has an FTA with UK, Vietnam is supplying at zero duty. With, let us say, other countries in the Middle East, if they are not having an FTA, they are supplying the goods at 12% or 16%, you will be supplying at zero duty, and definitely that will help us to fetch more business for you. Tariff elimination will be mostly on the traditional sectors of exports, and therefore it will help us to increase the job creation also in these sectors. I am expecting that number of sectors, particularly let us say leather, apparel, gems and jewelry, will get a boost once the FTA becomes fully operational. Even on the agriculture sector, we are seeing huge opportunity coming into the UK market, because if you look into our current export in the UK is extremely low. The total UK import is around $50 billion, or total export is around $310 million. Similarly, if you look into marine sector, which has taken a hit once India has suffered for reciprocal tariff of 50%, Ecuador to a large extent has taken India's market. The good thing is that Indian marine exporter diversified very quickly. They moved to EU, they moved to Russia, they moved to China, and to a large extent they have been able to offset the losses. We will see Indian marine now penetrating more in the UK market also. In a way, when I am talking about the product except for the cars, leaving aside meat, semi-milled or fully milled, rice, cane or beet sugar and eggs, rest all products are allowed at zero duty. That's why it has made my job very simple. If somebody asks what is the tariff, would be the tariff in the UK, I can simply say zero. Because except for 4 products and car which will be under the TRQ, rest will go to UK at zero duty. If you look into the services also, we are gaining a lot in the services, around 137 trade services. We will give the MFN treatment, we will give the full market access. India will also be providing access to around 108 services. There will be betterment in terms of temporary mobility. We will provide, UK will be providing access to their market through easy visa process for architects, chef, yoga teacher, musicians. We have a double contribution convention also, where both sides will not be paying the taxes for the temporary employment up to 3 years. None of the sides will contribute to the social security, and that will help not only the companies but individuals also who are going right now. They are paying to the social security in India, and they are also paying social security in those countries. There are gain to the UK also, because in the UK the duty will come down on an average from 15% to 3%. Lot of products will come at zero duty. UK whiskey will also see a duty reduction from 150% to 110%, and they will further decline to 75% over 10 years period. Tariff on silver, which is the largest import item from the UK, that will become zero in 10 years. We have auto tariff also coming down from 110% to 10% under a quota system. However, this will not be applicable for the EVs in the first 5 years. They will have also the advantage of zero duty in respect of perfume, shaving creams, etc. But sensitive items, for example, Apple cheese, gold bar and smartphone, India has protected it by not providing them a zero duty concession on them. Now, the other important agreement is India-EU FTA, because as told by Mr. Dabur also, EU is one of the largest trading partner. Our bilateral trade of goods and services around $200 billion. Our goods exports to the UK is around $76 billion. Our services export is around $40 billion. It's extremely good market for us. And with this, we will be having huge access to the market. And there are talks going on that a lot of manufacturing from EU will move to India. And I think that's the biggest advantage which will flow to the SMEs in times to come. Europe is becoming extremely cost prohibitive, and therefore they are looking for the alternative. India can be an answer to that. And I'm pretty sure that once the EU FTA becomes fully operational, we will see a lot of movement of the manufacturing from EU to Indian market also. This will also help us to gain a resilient supply chain as well. If I'm looking into the tariff elimination, which covers 99% of the Indian product, textile, garment, leather, footwear, gems and jewelry, engineering, marine, pharmaceuticals, all will be at zero duty. For pharmaceuticals, We have worked out a different arrangement where countries are providing India accelerated market access if the drugs is approved, for example, in Australia, Japan, or in US. They say that within 3 months period, they will provide market access. That clause is with India EU FTA also. Service, again, the major services will get a recognition. They are also talking about the MRAs where Indian degrees will be recognized, and we will also be providing recognition to their degrees also. GI is a big way for both India EU and India UK, where they will be giving automatic recognition to the DUI. They are forming a group, and once the group approves that, both sides will provide national treatment to the GI, and probably UP will have added advantage because UP right now around 75 to 76 GI, which is largest in the country. Now, the issue is that these free trade agreement will provide you the tariff, but whether you will be able to exploit the market or not is a different question. We are seeing that countries are becoming protective by using the non-tariff measures. And I'm pretty sure these countries will also do the same. We are seeing that EU has already come with the CBAM, where they are talking about the carbon emission. Right now it is confined to few sectors, chemical, steel, cement, fertilizer, but in times to come by 2035, it will be extended to all the sector. EU has come with European deforestation regulation, where right now they are talking about the plantation commodities, rubber, soya, palm, and other. Over a period of time, they will talk about the other product. They have come with ESPR, where they are looking into sustainability and circularity of the product. Unless you meet these kinds of market access issues, it will be very difficult for us to leverage on the FTA which we are signing. And that's why it's very important for the industry that they are ready to meet the compliance. The good thing is that in the export promotion mission also, which I will be just covering, they have provided some kind of support to the industry for certification and traceability. I will urge the industry to come forward and avail those concessions which has been announced by the government. We have to look into our cost competitiveness also. FTA will provide you the duty advantage, but if the duty advantage is just 10% and you are outpriced in the market by 15%, you have to look internally how you go for the cost reduction so that you become competitive into the market. And this will require a kind of strategic rolling out by the industry also. You have to identify the product where there are normal high tariff, and with the FTA you are gaining much more. For example, if you are exporting a product on which the tariff is 18%, your gain will be 18%. If you are supplying a product where the MFN is 4%, your gain is just 4%. Secondly, I think probably this is the time where we look into the partnership also with the industry. I'm very happy that garment exporter told that before the UK FTA was signed, there was huge order which has flown to them on the test basis. I will urge the industry that even for the EU FTA, don't wait for the FTA to be ratified. It will take its own time. Probably this is the time that you try to explore and study the market so that once the FTA benefit flows, you are ready to avail that. Now let me just quickly take through the export promotion mission which the government has announced, and Alok talked about this scheme also, which is from financial year 2025-26 to financial year 2030-31, and a corpus of 25,060 crore has been allocated. The entire export promotion mission is on two parts. One is what is called Niryat Prosahan, which is basically a credit support to the industry, and then we have the Niryat Disha, where we are looking into aggressive marketing strategy. The 5 component of this scheme is, the first one is the interest subvention, where the government is providing a subvention of 2.75% to MSMEs of the specified product, subject to a cap of 50 lakhs every year. We have supportive alternative trade instrument, where government is providing to encourage the factoring services in India, providing them the subvention. We have the credit assistance for the e-commerce exporters, because we are hoping that our e-commerce export, which is currently around 5 billion or so, moves to $150 billion in next 5 to 6 years. There is a scheme for collateral free lending for the MSMEs also, where for micro and small companies, government is providing 85% credit guarantee. For medium companies, they are providing 65% credit guarantee. There is support for support for the emerging market, where the government through the Exim Bank is providing collateral kind of support to the bank to lend to the exporter in those regions. And then we have the Niryat Disha. In Niryat Disha also we have different component. The important one is the trade regulation, accreditation and compliance entitlement, where government will provide 60% of the cost of certification and traceability, subject to a cap of 25 lakhs rupees to every exporter. For some of the sectors which are identified as priority sector, which basically covers the labor intensive sectors, the support is 75% with a cap of 25 lakhs. This is extremely important. I urge the industry to go through the scheme carefully and try to avail the benefit. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of state government support also being extended for that. I was in Punjab 2 days back, and Punjab has rolled out the scheme to provide that kind of support. We have market access support also, where for trade fair, exhibition and buyer seller meet, the government is providing support to the industry. The support is 60% of the total cost. In the priority sector, it is 80% of the total cost. The government is encouraging new exporters also into that, and therefore any new exporter in first year can participate in 1 trade fair exhibition, in second year 2 trade fair exhibition. Even airfare is available to those exporters. We also have a scheme where government is looking into logistics and warehousing overseas. Government is encouraging the association to come forward and set up warehouse abroad, where 30% of the cost, subject to cap of 10 crore, is borne by the government. There is also a scheme for logistic intervention, where for the hill states, particularly the northeastern state and northern states, the government is providing the inland logistics support also. And finally, for the integrated trade and intelligence, the government is looking into providing support to those who are going for data analytics, those who want to create capacity building, or those who want to facilitate exports at the districts or state level. So these are the wonderful initiatives which the government has taken, and I will urge the industry to come forward, avail that. Only one scheme which is yet to be notified is with regard to the branding of export. We have pleaded with the government that Indian exports have to move into the brand segment. Our exports in the brand segment is not 5%. Whatever we are exporting under brand is basically a foreign brand which we are promoting, where we are just a kind of supplier to those foreign brands. The need of the hour is that we develop some Indian brands. I personally believe that branding of the country is the task of the government. Branding a product is the task of the association or EPCs, and then individual branding becomes very important, where this kind of support which the government is likely to extend will come very handy. So I will not take much time. I am open to any question and answer which may be taken thereafter. I would like to leave the floor for other distinguished speakers, but I am available to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, DG sir, Dr. Ajay Sahai, Director General and CEO FIO, for your detailed insights about the recent developments of India's free trade agreement and its strategy to diversify the markets in current geopolitical headwinds, and also highlighted the export promotion mission which is announced recently on 21st of February 2026 to support the industry. Moving ahead with the program, I would like to request first Joint Commissioner Industries, Mr. Anuj Kumar sir, for his address. Please sir, please over to you sir.
थैंक यू सो मच. सभी को नमस्कार. सभी सम्मानित हमारे अतिथिगण, डीजी साहब, हमारे स्टेट बैंक के जीएम साहब, डीजीएम साहब, हमारे सभी सम्मानित एक्सपोर्टर्स बंधुओं, श्री पूरन डाबर जी, श्री गोपाल गुप्ता जी और हमारे अन्य सभी अतिथिगण. सबसे पहले तो मैं गोपाल गुप्ता जी का धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करूंगा. उन्होंने मुझे आज आप सभी के समक्ष यहाँ उपस्थित रह कर के अपने विभाग की ओर से जो योजनाएं संचालित हो रही हैं उनके विषय में जानकारी देने के लिए आमंत्रित किया। विभाग अनेक तरह की हमारी योजनाएं चलाता है और हर सेक्टर के लिए योजनाएं चलाता है। मैं अगर बात करूं, प्रदेश सरकार की ओर से लगभग 35 से अधिक सेक्टोरल पॉलिसीज़ अभी तक लॉन्च की जा चुकी हैं, चाहे वो फूड सेक्टर में हो, चाहे वो हेल्थ सेक्टर में हो, चाहे वो हैंडीक्राफ्ट सेक्टर में हो, चाहे वो लॉजिस्टिक्स में हो, एमएसएमई में हो। एन नंबर ऑफ पॉलिसीज़ गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से आई हैं और उसका लाभ हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ और हमारे निर्यातक बंधु ले रहे हैं। ये अवश्य हमारे आगरा जनपद के लिए थोड़ा कठिनाई की बात रहती है कि हम लोग एक उस क्षेत्र में हैं जहां टीटीजेड की वजह से अनेक बंदिशें हम लोगों पर लगी हुई है और उन बंदिशों में रह कर के भी हम लोग यहाँ 4000 करोड़ से अधिक का एक्सपोर्ट कर पा रहे हैं। तो हैट्स ऑफ टू ऑल द एक्सपोर्टर्स, अनबिलीवेबल, जो इतनी टफ कंडीशंस में भी हम लोग कर पा रहे हैं। तो ये सही में हम लोगों की अपनी इच्छा शक्ति है जिसकी वजह से ये संभव हो पाया है। सरकार, चाहे वो केंद्र सरकार हो, केंद्र सरकार की ओर से अभी डीजी साहब ने अभी बहुत सारे फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स के विषय में आपको बताया, अनेक तरह की योजनाओं के विषय में बताया। उसी प्रकार से प्रदेश सरकार भी आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके खड़ी है। योजनाओं का लाभ हम लोग ले रहे हैं और एक नई पॉलिसी हमारे आगरा स्पेसिफिक और कानपुर स्पेसिफिक 2025 में लॉन्च की गई है, जो कि लेदर एंड फुटवेयर पॉलिसी 2025 है। ये पहली ऐसी पॉलिसी है जिसमें उन कंपोनेंट्स को भी प्रदेश सरकार की ओर से ऐड ऑन किया गया है जो हमारी अन्य पॉलिसीज़ का हिस्सा नहीं थे। एमएसएमई पॉलिसीज़ के विषय में मैं अनेक प्लेटफॉर्म से आप सभी को अवगत करा चुका हूं, जिसमें हम स्टैम्प ड्यूटी से लेकर के और जो भी हमारा कैपिटल हम लोग इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं उस पर हम लोग इंसेंटिव्स आप लोगों को देते हैं। लेदर फुटवेयर पॉलिसी ये एक ऐसी पॉलिसी है जो न केवल लेदर सेक्टर के लिए है बल्कि एक नॉन लेदर सेक्टर के लिए भी इसमें काफ़ी संभावनाएं हम लोगों के लिए है। पहली मैं बात करूं तो इस पॉलिसी में जो कैटेगराइजेशन किया गया है वो हमारा 50 करोड़ से लेकर के और 150 करोड़ तक की जो हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं वो सिंगल इंडस्ट्रीज़ के नाम से उनको क्लासिफाई किया गया है और उसके ऊपर की जो इंडस्ट्रीज़ होंगी उनको क्लस्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ के नाम से इसमें आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है। पहला जो सरकार की ओर से इसमें लाभ दिया जा रहा है वो हम लैंड परचेज करने पर जो भी हमारी कॉस्ट आएगी, यदि हम कोई सरकारी लैंड परचेज करते हैं उस पर जो भी कॉस्ट आएगी, जो हमारी सिंगल इंडस्ट्रीज़ होगी उनको 25% तक का बेनिफिट लैंड कॉस्ट के रूप में दिया जा रहा है और जो हमारी क्लस्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ होगी उन क्लस्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ को 75% ऑफ द कॉस्ट ऑफ द लैंड वो हमारा इंसेंटिव इसमें दिया जा रहा है। तो ये पहली बार हुआ है कि इतने बड़े अमाउंट में हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ को लैंड सब्सिडीज़ भी उपलब्ध कराई जा रही है। दूसरा, जो भी हम लैंड परचेज करेंगे उस परचेज पर किसी भी प्रकार की स्टैम्प ड्यूटी हमें पे, पहला तो इंसेंटिव यही मिल गया कि हम लोग को 25% और 75% लैंड कॉस्ट में हमें रिम्बर्समेंट मिल जाएगा। दूसरा 100% उसमें एग्जम्पशन मिल जाएगा, स्टैम्प ड्यूटी में किसी प्रकार का स्टैम्प ड्यूटी हमें पे उसमें नहीं करना। तो ये उसका सेकेंड बेनिफिट। गवर्नमेंट लैंड, बेसिकली ओनली गवर्नमेंट लैंड, नॉट ऑन द प्राइवेट लैंड बेसिकली। अभी जैसे आगरा की यदि मैं बात करूं तो लेदर पार्क हम लोग का अभी बना है जो अभी ऑपरेशनल नहीं हो पाया। और दूसरा इंटीग्रेटेड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्लस्टर IMC 1100 एकर्स का यूपी सीडा का, वो भी पाइपलाइन में है। बस ये TTZ का जो मैटर चल रहा है उसकी वजह से वो रुके हुए हैं। इसके अलावा येडा की तरफ से भी यहाँ लैंड एक्वायर की जा रही है और उम्मीद है कि वहाँ वो भी येडा भी यहाँ पर एक अपना इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया डेवलप करेंगे। नहीं, बेसिकली अभी जो 2025 में 2024 में अक्टूबर 2024 में जो माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जो वर्डिक्ट आई थी, उसमें वाइट कैटेगरी इंडस्ट्रीज़ को भी वर्तमान में तो कि संचालन की अनुमति, मतलब नई इंडस्ट्रीज़ के लिए ना तो नई इंडस्ट्री लग सकती है, ना पुरानी इंडस्ट्रीज़ में एक्सपेंशन हो सकता है, ना डाइवर्सिफिकेशन हो सकता है और ना रीलोकेशन हो सकता है। तो अभी तो स्थिति ये है, वो वाइट कैटेगरी के लिए भी एप्लीकेबल है। लेकिन उम्मीद करें कि 17 को शायद ये संभावना है कि केस लगा हुआ है, तो उसमें कुछ हम लोग को छूट मिलने का हम लोग उम्मीद लगाए हुए हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त कैपिटल इंसेंटिव्स भी इस पॉलिसी में, जो हमारी लेदर फुटवेयर पॉलिसी है, कैपिटल इंसेंटिव्स भी इसमें दिए जा रहे हैं। जो हमारी सिंगल इंडस्ट्रीज़ होगी उनको 20% ऑफ द कैपिटल जो हमारे इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा उस पर हम लोग सब्सिडाइज करेंगे टू द ट्यून ऑफ 30 to 45 करोड़। और जो हमारी क्लस्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ होंगी उनको हम 30% जो भी हमारा कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा उसको हम लोग सब्सिडाइज करेंगे टू द ट्यून ऑफ 600 करोड़। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट है। इसके अलावा फ्रेट सब्सिडी का इसमें प्रावधान किया गया है, 75% फ्रेट सब्सिडी इसमें उपलब्ध कराई जाएगी। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो हम लोग कंज्यूम करेंगे, तो पहली बार इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंजम्पशन को भी इसमें सब्सिडाइज किया जा रहा है, 2 रुपीज़ पर किलोवाट फॉर 5 ईयर्स। ये सब्सिडी हमारी नई यूनिट्स और एक्सपेंशन करने वाली यूनिट्स को इसमें अवेलेबल रहेगी। ये भी पहली बार किसी पॉलिसी में इसको इंटीग्रल पार्ट इसका बनाया गया है। तो इस प्रकार से ईपीएफ है 5 ईयर्स के लिए, हमारा जो एम्प्लॉयर का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है वो 100% इसमें एग्जेम्प्ट किया गया है ईपीएफ का। तो इस प्रकार से अनेक तरह के लाभ इस पॉलिसी में हमारी जो लेदर नॉन लेदर इंडस्ट्रीज़ है उनको उपलब्ध कराया जा रहा है। हम लोग सभी ये भी देख रहे हैं कि ओडीओपी में भी हम लोगों ने लेदर के साथ में नॉन लेदर को भी इंक्लूड किया है। तो अब यदि हम लोग जैसे ही टीटीजेड की रिस्ट्रिक्शंस ख़त्म हो जाएंगी, नॉन लेदर फुटवेयर को यदि हम लोग उस पर अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स को ले जाना चाहेंगे तो उसमें ओडीओपी के जितने भी लाभ हैं, चाहे वो फाइनेंस से रिलेटेड हो, चाहे वो मार्केटिंग डेवलपमेंट असिस्टेंस से रिलेटेड हो, चाहे वो फ्रेट से रिलेटेड हो, उन सभी लाभ ओडीओपी के लाभ को भी हम लोग उस नॉन फुटवेयर में भी प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त फ्रेट सब्सिडी स्कीम्स हम लोग के यहाँ चलती है, वो हम सभी उसका फ़ायदा लेते हैं। मार्केटिंग डेवलपमेंट असिस्टेंस स्कीम हमारे यहाँ चलती है, वो भी हम लोग लाभ लेते रहते हैं। हमारा एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन ब्यूरो के माध्यम से इस बार जो एक्सपोर्ट हमारी पॉलिसी आई है उसमें एक्सपोर्ट ग्रोथ को भी इस बार हम लोगों ने टेकअप किया है। और जो भी हमारा एक्सपोर्ट ग्रोथ होगा उस ग्रोथ पर 1%, जो भी हमारा नेट ग्रोथ होगा उस ग्रोथ का 1% इंसेंटिव गवर्नमेंट इस बार आप लोग को उपलब्ध कराएगी। तो अनेक प्रकार के इंसेंटिव्स सरकार की ओर से आप लोग को उपलब्ध कराए जाते रहे हैं और कराए जा रहे हैं। मुझे उम्मीद है कि हम लोग जो लाभ ले रहे हैं जो भी, और जो लाभ ले सकते हैं उनको हम लोग लाभ लें और अपनी इंडस्ट्रीज़ को आगे बढ़ाने में सरकार हमेशा आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके खड़ी है। मैं एक चीज़ और ऐड ऑन करना चाहूँगा। बेसिकली आज मैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की हमारी एक वर्कशॉप थी, उस वर्कशॉप में गया था। हमारे कुछ निर्यातक बंधु, क्योंकि वो लोकल में भी सप्लाई करते हैं, उनको अक्सर दिक्कत आती है कि जब वो कुछ मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं और सप्लाई करते हैं तो कई बार जो बायर्स होते हैं वो समय से उनका पेमेंट नहीं करते हैं। हमारा एमएसएमई का फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल यहाँ काम करता है। जो ऐसी इंडस्ट्रीज़ जिनका पेमेंट 45 डेज से अधिक समय से बकाया है, उन इंडस्ट्रीज़ के केसेस को हम अपने फैसिलिटेशन काउंसिल में टेकअप करते हैं और उनको प्रयास करते हैं कि जो भी उनके ड्यूज़ हैं, ओवर ड्यूज़ हैं, उनको हम दिलवाएं। और साथ ही जो बैंक रेट होता है उसका 3% कंपाउंडिंग मंथली इंटरेस्ट के साथ में उसको दिलवाएं। ये अभी तक जो सुविधा थी ये ऑफलाइन समाधान पोर्टल के माध्यम से आप सभी के लिए उपलब्ध थी। अभी लास्ट ईयर से गवर्नमेंट ने इसको टोटल ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से ओडीआर पोर्टल जो एक लॉन्च किया है। आज मैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की उसी एक वर्कशॉप में गया हुआ था। तो ओडीआर पोर्टल हमारा लॉन्च हुआ है, जिसमें हम हमारे जो भी ओवरड्यूज हमारे हैं किसी भी बायर पर, उसके लिए हम ओडीआर पोर्टल पर अपने क्लेम्स को लॉन्च कर सकते हैं और उसमें विद इन 90 डेज आपके जो क्लेम्स होंगे उस पर हम लोग निस्तारण करेंगे। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री अनुज कुमार जी, ज्वाइंट कमिश्नर इंडस्ट्रीज, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश। इंडस्ट्रीज डिपार्टमेंट का सहयोग हम सभी को रेगुलर मिलता रहता है, चाहे वो एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन ब्यूरो के माध्यम से हो, एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन उत्तर प्रदेश एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन काउंसिल के माध्यम से हो, या डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे डिस्ट्रिक्ट इंडस्ट्रीज सेंटर के माध्यम से हो। ये एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी, जैसा कि अनुज कुमार सर ने बताया कि 2025 से 2030, अभी 10 मार्च को ही हमारे डॉक्टर डीजी एंड सीईओ एक अवार्ड फंक्शन में थे लखनऊ में, और वहाँ पर कुछ आगरा के ही निर्यातकों को सम्मानित किया गया उनके 23-24 और 24-25 के एक्सपोर्ट परफॉर्मेंस के क्रम में। उसी कड़ी में हमारे गोपाल गुप्ता सर भी रहे हैं और आगरा के 4 सम्मानित अन्य सदस्य भी हमारे यहाँ पे रहे हैं। तो नंदी जी हमारे माननीय मंत्री जी उस कार्यक्रम में थे और उन्होंने कहा था बजट का अभाव नहीं है, प्रदेश सरकार के पास बजट पर्याप्त है। जो एक्सपोर्टर्स या ट्रेड एसोसिएशंस अगर आगे आते हैं, चाहे वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में पार्टिसिपेशन हो या ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा यूटिलाइजेशन हो फ्रेट सब्सिडीज़ का या एयरफेयर कार्गो का, तो आप सभी से आग्रह है कि कृपया आप उस कड़ी में आगे बढ़ें। हम कार्यक्रम की अगली कड़ी में बढ़ते हुए, क्योंकि ये कार्यक्रम आउटरीच सेशन है, हमें आप सभी को भी मौका देना है, 2 वे कम्युनिकेशन होगा कि हम हमारे अतिथियों को भी सुने और आपको भी सुने। इसी कड़ी में स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हमारे इस प्रोग्राम का सहयोगी है। हमारे बीच में कि हमारे ज्वाइंट कमिश्नर साहब को, क्योंकि दिल्ली से आए हुए उनको जाना भी है, तो मेरा आप सभी से आग्रह है कि एक ऐसा फोरम है, अगर आपको लगता है कि भारत सरकार के द्वारा जो संचालित योजनाएं हैं, चाहे वो न्यूली अनाउंस्ड एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन मिशन हो या कोई ऐसे डीजीएफटी, कस्टम, शिपिंग या अन्य विभागों से रिलेटेड जो सेंट्रल लेवल पे अगर कोई इश्यूज आप हाईलाइट करना चाहते हैं, इंटरवेंशन की आवश्यकता है, यू कैन फ्रीली रेज दिस इशू विद आवर डॉक्टर अजय सहाय सर, ताकि वो प्रॉपरली उस इश्यू को कंपाइल करके जहां पर जरूरत होगी वो रेगुलर बेसिस पे डीजीएफटी, कॉमर्स सेक्रेटरी, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर और कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर सभी के फोरम से उनका इंटरेक्शंस होता रहता है। तो एक्सपोर्टर्स के जो इश्यूज हैं वो हमेशा वो फीओ का जो हमारा दायित्व है कि एक्सपोर्टर्स की आवाज़ बुलंद आवाज़ करके हम हमारे उद्योगों को आगे बढ़ाएं। तो आप सभी से आग्रह है अगर कोई आप कहना चाहें। और इसके साथ साथ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट भी प्रोएक्टिवली तरीके से काम कर रही है, क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश एक ऐसा स्टेट है जो 2023 में यूपी इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड शो का शुभारंभ उत्तर प्रदेश में हुआ। उत्तर प्रदेश एक ऐसा स्टेट है जहां पर एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी पहली बार उत्तर प्रदेश में बनाई गई, सभी के इनपुट्स लेकर के। तो अगर आपको लगता है कि पॉलिसीज़ को भी और ईज किया जाना चाहिए तो आप अपना हैंड रेज कर सकते हैं, हमारी टीम आपके पास आएगी सो दैट यू कैन हाईलाइट दोज इशू विद अवर डिग्निटरीज हु आर प्रेजेंट हियर। एनीवन फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री? राणा सर, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? नाजिर अहमद सर, बेसिकली यू आर द लीडर्स ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री, जो आप आगे लेकर के जा रहे हैं, चाहे वो हमारे डावर सर हों, गोपाल सर हों, वासन साहब हों, राजेश सहगल साहब हों।
कितने लोगों को बिना कोलेटरल के लोन दिया है? जरा फिगर दिखा दे मेरे को, कोई ये दिखा दे कि कितने लोगों को फ्रेट सब्सिडी मिल गई है। मेरे को कोई ये बता दे, नहीं मिल रही है, नहीं मिलती है, नहीं मिलती है, नहीं मिलती है। हमारे पास भी, हम भी काम करते हैं। कितने लोगों को की रजिस्ट्री फ्री में हो चुकी है? अगर वो फिगर सामने आए हैं तो वो शायद ज़्यादा इंकरेजमेंट होगा हमारे लिए कि 20 लोगों को मिल गया, मैं रह गया। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सहगल साहब, थैंक यू सर।
इंडस्ट्री की तरफ से एक एश्योरेंस मैं आपको देना चाहता हूं कि जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आप रख सकते हैं कि वी आर ऑल सेट, बिल्कुल रेडी हैं कि रियल टाइम मॉनिटरिंग के लिए आप मेरी फैक्ट्री में या किसी भी हमारी इंडस्ट्री में एयर पोल्यूशन मीटर लगा दो, डिस्चार्ज मीटर लगा दो। टेक्नोलॉजी के ज़माने में भी अगर इंडस्ट्रीज़ पर रोक होगी तो फिर ये सब कुछ बात करना ये टोटल बेमानी है। पॉलिसी बनाना कहीं ना कहीं इसी तरह से रुकावटें आने लगी। हम बिल्कुल पूरी तरह वी मीन एनवायरनमेंट हमारी लाइफ है। हम चाहते हैं कि हर फैक्ट्री में आप एयर पोल्यूशन मीटर लगा दीजिए और लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज मीटर लगा दीजिए। वी आर रेडी, लेकिन रोक नहीं हो सकती।
थैंक यू आलोक जी। सबसे पहले तो मैं अजय साहब का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा। क्योंकि उन्होंने हम लोगों के साथ ओवरफ्लोइंग पॉइजन शेयर किया है, विच इज़ अनफॉर्चुनेट कि हमारे गोपाल भाई ने पॉइजन की बात की। अगर कहते कि अमृत से वो भरे पड़े हैं तो अमृत देते तो हम लोग को मज़ा भी आता। बट इन एनी केस अभी तक जो प्रेजेंटेशन हुई है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली वी आर टॉकिंग ओनली अबाउट द फ्यूचर, बट व्हाट आई बिलीव इज that the present is always the foundation of the future. Because अगर हम present को नहीं देखेंगे और अपने को मजबूत नहीं बनाएंगे तो future has no value. Future, I'm not talking in a pessimist manner, I'm very optimistic, but we should also try to realize, understand the ground reality, what we are facing today. Like Puranji had talked about, the subvention. Or Sehgal Saab, he spoke about the loan, without any collateral security. Or 20% ad hoc increment in your already existing loan, but then again there's a condition, only US-based exporters. So somewhere, there's a hidden agenda which is discouraging the present problem, what we are facing. We don't know, when the EU FTA is going to be ratified, because I'm just giving the factual situation. I spoke to a couple of my clients, I said, so when are you going to place bigger orders, because now we have a good trade deal. He said, this is only, between a handful of people, because it's European Union, every country has to ratify that, before it's implemented or executed, Yeah. Today, what we are facing, like today there was a video conference among, between the shoe manufacturers and the material supplier. Every day we are receiving a mail or a message from the material supplier, that the price has gone up by 20%, 40%, 100%, 200%. We don't know, So we were just trying to manage, and handle the situation in a more positive manner, and we behave with each other like partners, not like I'm a buyer and he's a supplier, so I'm going to suppress him, We have to understand the difficulty, which is very important, On one hand, the government says, there's no shortage. On the other hand, the biggest of the biggest industries, they are increasing the price on the placed orders also. This is not a solution, If we have these kind of scenario, the MSME, despite all their effort, despite all their good intention to get involved, we are finding it very difficult to talk about tomorrow, 2047 or 2032 is a long time, So what I would suggest, few should also take up this situation, the current situation. It's not that, we are not with the government, but the government should also try to take some steps, where the multinationals, they are kept under control. They should at least respect the orders already placed with them, This is like, if I put money in State Bank of India at 8%, tomorrow they say, no, I'm cancelling your OD, I'll give you only 2%, This is not a contract, Once it's done, It cannot be undone. So these are the factual situations, Like, for example, I was talking about, increasing...
Sir, I would like to request you please conclude with your words so that we can...
Okay.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, just one more thing,
Yeah.
Can you please also clarify on this, ad hoc enhancement of loan without any collaterals? Is it only for the US market or it's for the world in general? Thank you.
I think a lot of issues relating to banking has been made. I'm pretty sure State Bank will add to that, but let me clarify a few things. Of course, when we are talking about the credit, we are comparing with developed world. Plus, bear in mind that lending rate corresponds to the deposit rates. So if you have a higher deposit rate, your lending rate cannot be lower than that. I agree with you. There is need to provide subvention to the industry. We were the first who gave the demonstration to Department of Commerce that your interest subvention has a multiplier of 200 times. The government support was 2,000 crores, and that covered 4 lakhs crores of exports. So you have an excellent scheme, and that's why they have brought it again. On the subvention of 2.75%, I think we also have to understand that subvention is linked with the lending rate, and since the lending rate with the coming of the key rates have come down, so is the subvention. But I completely agree with you, there is no justification to reduce it to 50 lakhs. It is not even sufficing the small industry, forget about the medium size of industry. So the issue which you have raised, I think the situation has changed. Today morning, Governor of RBI has a meeting where my Vice President was there. In fact, I was supposed to go, but since this function was rescheduled because of me, I didn't. We have made it a point. With the Middle East conflict, the global trade is under jeopardy, and so is India's exports. So we have moved much away from the US, we have moved much away from the specified product. The need of the hour is to provide support to every destination and to every product. And that's why we urge the banks also, please come with a very proactive mind to support the exports, because exports are facing huge headwinds, and every stakeholder to chip in this, that. The issue which you are talking about, that prices have gone up, please bear in mind there are a section of the people who are exploiting the situation also. Government also has a limited role to play. We are struggling with the shipping company day in, day out, where they have issued the bill of lading. They are now asking for a surcharge. Surcharge is in many cases 500 to 600% more than the freight rate. We are struggling with that, but I think all stakeholders have to work together to get rid of this problem. This is a problem which, if everyone thinks that he will be benefited by that, it is not. Probably everyone has to chip in, and I personally feel that industry is facing the challenge. They are the worst hit. Export sector, import sector is the worst hit. Government is doing its bit, but I agree that government has limited resources. Unfortunately, in Indian condition, the regulation of the shipping companies is not there. We are not having a flat rate like Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, where they have a freight which is inclusive of everything. Here they quote you a freight rate, then they will say a terminal handling charges which is 200% more than what they pay to the terminal. Those challenges are there, but at the same time, I agree the way Indian industry is functioning, despite the challenge, I'm confident that they will deliver in future also. The good times have arrived, and probably Indian industry will take full advantage of that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, DG sir. I would like to request Mr. Puneet Sharma, as I already told that State Bank of India is the co-organizer of this event. I would like to request Mr. Puneet Sharma, AGM SME State Bank of India, for a video, then along with the presentation. Then he will request our General Manager, Mr. SVS Nagendra Kumar, for his address. I would like to request Mr. Puneet Kumar, please come forward and go with the presentation, with your presentation.
And above all, the people of India who trust SBI with their life savings, putting it among top 5 most trusted banks globally. All this with a strong philosophy at the core.
Consistency, improvement in productivity, resilience.
Work. And this is where SBI leads the way.
I often say growth story of India is SBI's growth story. SBI has not only kept the wheels of economy running in the past, it is also well aligned to the aspirations of the great country. Today, our balance sheet is stronger than ever, and we aspire to achieve a target of 1 lakh crore profit in the coming years. SBI is well placed to help India unlock its true potential.
Since its inception, SBI is the most trusted financial partner for Indians from day of their birth to sunset of their life. The ease of opening account, doorstep services for senior citizens, education loans for students, and dedicated wealth branches for high net worth individuals have made SBI the bank of first choice. SBI is also the largest home loan provider in India, partnering not just with individuals but also the government by supporting its vision of providing affordable housing to weaker sections of the society under the PM Awas Yojana.
Every loan we disburse is a statement of our commitment to stay invested in the potential of India. Our commitment is not just restricted to high net worth individuals, but it extends to our Annadatas who feed the entire nation, to every single salaried individual, to every entrepreneur, to SMEs, and in every nook and corner of the country.
Fully invested in India's entrepreneurial potential, SBI offers tailor-made loans to MSMEs, large corporates and assistance to startups. SBI is also the leading partner in government initiatives, from providing microcredit facility to street vendors under PM Swanidhi Yojana to financing large manufacturers under the Atmanirbhar Bharat program. SBI is playing a significant role in country's infrastructure development, mega railway projects to superhighways, massive ports to modern airports, large power plants to huge telecom projects with an investment of 4 trillion rupees. SBI is fueling India's ambition of Viksit Bharat 2047. Moving with times, SBI has successfully made artificial intelligence and machine learning its close ally. Models like propensity-based end-to-end digital pre-approved loans and detect suspicious transactions at early stage have been developed. At SBI, the quest for perfection is unrelenting. A truly global bank, it provides variety of world-class services in various countries to its customers. With an asset size of 62 trillion plus, SBI is one of the top 50 international banks and the only Indian bank to be part of Fortune 500 list for last 19 years. In 2024, SBI was named the best bank in India by the Global Finance magazine.
Consistency and reliability are the hallmarks of our legacy. At SBI, we honor our past while innovating for the future. SBI has grown to where it is today because of direction and intent. And being the leaders in the banking industry, we are able to anticipate the needs of tomorrow today.
SBI takes immense pride in its journey of innovation, dedication and excellence, which has earned them several recognition and accolades over the years. SBI, it's not just a bank, it's a promise of bringing ease to life. With a strong legacy of trust and leadership, SBI has served generations and promises to serve generations to come. Bringing ease to life. SBI, the banker to every Indian.
Good evening, everyone. I, Dikshant Gupta, on behalf of State Bank of India, welcomes you all. I would like to thank our chief guest Ajay Sai sir, our GM sir, DGM sir, AGMs for being here. I would also like to pay special thanks to Gopal sir, Davar sir, Rajiv sir, Lalit sir, Anuj sir, and all the members of AFMEC and all the exporters that are present here. So we will now proceed with our presentation. So the first question that came to our mind when we connect with State Bank of India is why SBI? The answer lies is the widest reach pan-India. We have one of the highest pan-India reach as well as the greatest international presence in terms of 244 offices and joint ventures as well as point of presence in 29 countries. So hedging. So let's directly come to the point. Hedging. Hedging is a basically very useful tool, especially when we talk about the exporters. So it provides benefit, like it helps you provide benefit from profit margin. It helps to mitigate exchange rate volatility as well as risk management. It also helps in stabilizing cash flows as well as in helps in strategic decision making and also act as an insurance. So these are some of the basic of hedging tools that they are available in the market. So forwards are there, futures are there, options are there. Option can be of call option, put options, as well as the swap options are also available. So let's discuss in brief the most simple and most of the exporter are already using that feature also, the forward contracts. So what is basically a forward contract? Forward is the most common and simple product to hedge exchange rate risk. It enables you to fix your future exchange rate. Like if I am asking about the exporters, they can directly book their particular price that they are targeting in a future by booking a forward from the bank. And same for the importer, they can like book a particular price for their raw material import so that their price can be stabilized for a future purpose. So there are some of the disadvantages also, because as we say in finance, there is no free lunch. So you will not have a chance of participating in the market because you will already have your final proceeds booked with the bank. So there are upside as well as downside potential. So in case of importer, let's see by the example, like if importer, the current market price is 85.50 for the USD INR, and in next 3 months we are expecting an appreciation of 50 basis point on that. So today I am getting a price of 86 in next 3 months. So if I am an importer, I can directly book that price with the bank and get my raw material cost fixed in terms of exchange rate volatility. And same in case of exporters, like again the spot price is 85.50, again I am getting a 50 bps rise in next 3 months, again I can get my like export forwards book at the rate of 86. So what is the benefit and loss in both of that? So in terms of imports, if I can say that if anywhere the price rises above 86, I am in the benefit because I have already booked my pricing to that particular level. And same in case of exporters, if any price goes below 86, again I am in the benefit because I have already booked that price at a higher range. So in both that case, the risk of the downside of the market can be easily overcome. So why SBI? SBI is again a one-stop solution. We have a host of trade finance product like PCFCs, EPCs, EBR, bill rediscounting, other financing product like FCNBs loans, foreign exchange like options like spot, forward contracts, and also in rupee market we have a very wide variety of products like commercial paper, certificate of deposit, T-bills. So these are some of the basic trade finance product in terms of pre-shipment finance for exporter. We have export packing credit limits, and the rate of interest on export packing credit depends upon the tenure or the kind of working capital cycle exporter is having. Like for example, if an exporter is having a working capital cycle of 0 to 180 days, so we are providing them the rate on the basis of 91-day T-bill plus 115 basis point of card rate. And in terms of the if their working capital cycle is between 181 to 360 days, the rate will change from 91 days to 182 days T-bill and 115 basis points. Same in case of packing credit in foreign currency, the difference is that in this we provide shipment credit in terms of foreign currency, like you can take either in USD, Euro, GBP or JPY. Again, the rates will depend upon the kind of working capital cycle you are having. Like if you are having a working capital cycle of 3 months, then the forward contract can be directly booked as compared to USD I am telling, like 3 months offer plus a spread of 200 basis point. For 6 months, this 6 months offer plus 200 basis point. So so as per today, the rate of interest of EPC we are having a nearby 6.50% we are offering in EPC, and in terms of SOFR, it depends upon the point of currency you are having. Like in terms of Euro, I am telling, because like major of the exporters present here have their exposures in Euro only. So in Euro, you can directly get it as close as 4.20 to 4.25. So that is a very competitive rate in the market.
And these rates are without any interest subvention. I mean, the interest subvention benefit is additional to the rates we are offering. So current rate that we are offering for EPC is 6.5, and the interest subvention that is available of 2.75, that is incremental to this. I mean, subject to the revision by government from time to time. As of now, it is 2.75, and maximum amount is 50 lakh in a financial year.
And these are some of the other trade finance product, like the for exporter, we have the facility of export bill rediscounting as well as purchase negotiation, where they can directly get their post-shipment finance in INR, as well as they can liquidate their export bill EFC balances also. And same is case of export bill discounting. In that we provide post shipment finance in terms of foreign currency, whether it is USD, Euro, GBP or JPY. And this is SBI Gold Card scheme for exporters. So basically, who all are eligible for the Gold Card scheme? So we have a basic 3 points criteria for that. First is the account should be standard for last 3 years. No net losses last 3 financial years, and not more than 10% of overdue export bills. So what you are getting if you are subscribing to this particular eligibility, so you are getting a standby limit of not less than 20% of the assessed limit, and it can be provided additionally to the depending upon the requirements of your credit. Also, the 3-year limit validity will be there, and the limit will go on for 3 years. Also, a 10% concession on the card rates will also be provided to you.
The benefit in exporter gold card as compared to the other working capital facility is that we don't have to go for annual review. So the renewal is valid for 3 years. Annual review is only to be done. And at the branch level, at the operating level itself, the branch managers have the power to increase by 10% if there is any requirement during the course of 3 years. We do not require, I mean, on a yearly basis, we can increase by 10%, and there is no specific requirement to go to the respective committees or higher authorities for any enhancement in the limits. So immediately temporary liquidities can be provided by the branch level.
These are like some of the other financing products. Like earlier we have told about like what are the financing products we have for exporters or importers who are their exposures in foreign currency. But the foreign currency loan can also be provided to anybody or basically any SME who is not having their foreign currency exposure in terms of their business. So like there is a product like FC and RB loan where we can provide foreign currency loan in terms of demand or term loan for meeting your working capital and term loan requirement to non-exporter or non-importer also. But the condition is that the hedging should be compulsion. So that the downside risk of currency fluctuation will be mitigated.
And that hedging requirement is naturally covered in case of exporters. In case of a non-exporter, if he is taking a term loan and then converting it to a foreign currency exposure, the requirement of hedging will be there. And that cost comes out to be around 2% to 3% based on what are the scenarios. If the market is slightly volatile, the rate, the premium increases. But in case of exporters, the natural hedge is usually available because the dollars or the euro, whichever currency we are utilizing the facility, we have those funds coming in, and that cost 2 to 3% of hedging cost is mitigated. The whichever foreign currency we have availed the facility, the currency comes in, and the repayment is done in that particular currency itself. And it is also usually a cause of, point of concern that whether in particular month the EMI is due and if we do not have any cash flows coming in. So from the earlier cash flows also, these can be parked in EFC, which can be utilized for towards the repayment of term loan facilities. So usually normally, to the market rates, there is a slight variation of around 2 to 3% pricing for term loans. So that will take care of the requirement, as Dava sir was also suggesting, that not only for, and which I was also thinking, the subvention should not only be towards the working capital facilities, but towards the term loan facilities also the requirement should also be, subvention facility should also be there where the capital, the infrastructure is to be created. The other thing is scheme, we have a Surya Shakti solar scheme where we are providing the solar facility, term loan for installing of solar rooftop panels. And in this scheme also up to 2 crores, we have a MSC gift scheme also, which is in tie-up with SIDBI, where we are providing 2% of interest subvention above the rates. So up to 2 crore of term loan, which can take care of the power requirement. And as of now, we can see the kind of scenario we are in. Energy requirements are changing, the pricing is going to change. The long-term investment, the outlook is that we need to create an alternate energy support also, so that we are not too dependent on electricity or too dependent on fuel. Rate of interest is, as of now, it is 8.3 to 8.5%, and above that up to 2 crore of term loan, 2% subvention is applicable. 2% subvention is, yes. And there is this product of business rule engine that we have started in 2023, and now we are very bullish on this product, the business rule engine. So the credit decision of the customer is taken care of by a portal based on account statements and GST returns. Up to 5 crore of limits can be assessed by the customer by registering on a portal, uploading the documents, and the system itself calculates the, taking all the factors into picture, your CIBIL report, your cash flows in the statement, GST returns that have been filed. The system calculates the ITR, calculates the limit, working capital limit. The best part is that in this scheme, up to 5 crore, we are preferring to cover it through CGTMSE. We are not insisting on collaterals. If the customer provides the collateral, very good. But if they say that we do not have the collateral and I am ready to bear the cost of guarantee fee, we are more than happy to provide the credit support in terms of CGTMSE. This year itself in AGRA module, we have sanctioned around 1500 loans under this product, which is around 500 crores of sanction. Around more than 50 lakh to 5 crore segment, we have disbursed around 250 crore of loans, majority of which is CGTMSE covered, and around 1200 customers we have onboarded, where we have sanctioned around 250 crores of proposal, where we have not taken any collateral, majorly covered in the CGTMSE. RBI has also revised the collateral free limit from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs now. Earlier we were, the Mudra loans are the schemes we were covering in this product. We have around 400 crore of exposure in AGRA and Mudra scheme itself. And going by this, and since the government has also revised the scheme, and now they have increased the limit for Mudra from 10 lakh to 20 lakh. So that is also now being mandatorily covered under collateral free scheme. Apart from that, other than business rule engine, the working capital facility or term loan working capital facility under CGTMSE has been revised up to 10 crores. So in that segment also, we are providing support wherever there is a requirement and the customer is not able to provide the collateral but has a very good business model, very confident, we are more than happy to provide the support for up to 10 crore. And for capital infrastructure also, Government of India has rolled out a scheme where the term loan facility up to 100 crore can also be covered under CGTMSE. The only thing is that the cost of guarantee and other things has to be borne by the customer.
So basically we have talked about a lot of products that are available for the exporters and importers. So this is also one of the better product that we are on offer. This is a specified current account variant for importers and exporters. So basically the target audience is non-credit SME customers. Even if the customer is there who is not having a credit relationship with us, can come and have a export-import current account with us. So these are some of the benefits that we provide in particular variant, that including up to 1 crore rupees of per month of free cash deposit, 700 per month free check leaves, unlimited NEFT RTGS, as well as cash withdrawals at home branch, as well as we provide a business debit card premium, and FTC card is free along with that variant. And these are some of the charges, and we have particular charges have been revised so that the new customer who is not having a credit relationship with us could also get the benefit of that. So in terms of inward or outward remittances, the amount of charge is 200 per bill, as well as in terms of export bill collections and import bill collection, it's again 200 per bill. And this is our YONO Business platform. So in YONO Business platform, we basically provide a host of single platform depending upon all your business needs, whether it is payment and collection, APIs, loan, we can get each and everything. And that is our E4X portal. So E4X is all-in-one super app where you can directly trade in USD, GBP, Euro and INR. And also you can book as low as 1 USD, and we also provide negotiation options on that. And FX Retail. FX Retail is a specified platform from CCIL. It is basically a platform developed with the help of RBI. It can provide exporters, importers, as well as retail individuals. They can directly get onboarded on that portal. And the main benefit of that portal is it is an order matching platform. Like in the case of stock market, we can directly get our order matched from the counterparty without any intermediary benefit. So that is also a very innovative product. And last but not the least, we also provide support from Regional Treasury Marketing Unit. We also provide you inputs, advices in currency movements, and as well as market intelligence, and also act as a link between India and foreign offices.
Apart from these products, there are products for general insurance where we have to, or the marine insurance, where insurance cover is to be provided. And recently, due to some new labor code, we were getting queries for support in terms of gratuity. So there also our SBI Life provides the support when we have to park some funds for gratuity requirements of our staff and there also the customization option is provided by our team. What are the requirements? There are options, and we are the only subsidiary which is providing support in terms of ULIP product also, market-driven product also. So the investment amount in gratuity can be invested in composite form. Some amount where we can park in ULIP and some amount we can park in fixed instrument, so that the return, optimum return is also generated and the benefit can also be availed. So that's it from my side. Now I would request our GM Shri Nagendra sir to please come on stage and address the gathering.
We value very much the exporters from AGRA side. Whenever some meeting is happening at AGRA, particularly from exporter side and MSME customers, the CMC of Delhi Circle will always take it very serious. That's why I came down directly from Delhi to attend this meeting. My MSME customers and my MSME branches which are there in the entire AGRA module, they are catering to huge MSME borrowers, and we are trying to support those borrowers in a different ways. All those things have been explained to you in a different model. In export particularly, I think in AGRA market, we are covering roughly some 50 to 55% of the entire export that is being done through different channels from AGRA module. For that, we are sincerely thanking the entire export community over here, and of course, we are going to come out with much more good products where we can support the export community. Even when RBI came up with some measures which are to be implemented immediately from State Bank of India's side, when the US tariff have substantially increased, we immediately contacted the Export Promotion Council over here and the borrowers who are interested in getting those benefits also, and we extended those benefits also to some of the customers whoever are interested. Sir, one thing I wanted to tell you people, that our EPC rates are the best in the market. Please try to utilize them. We were talking about the interest rates, even Sahai sir was also telling something. But for EPCs, we have linked them with T-bill rates, sir, which are the cheapest in the market. Treasury bill rate is the cheapest in the market. That's where we are linked it. There also we are trying to give some more, deviation wherever we require. Something like that, that whenever that is put up to us, my CMC, myself and my CGM, we are also using our discretionary powers and we are getting some more BIPS reduction over there also. Apart from that, we are sincerely looking forward to improve the formalization of MSME sector. Even my chairman is also telling time and again that the MSME sector's formalization is the most important thing in India, where we need to support the MSME in a big way. To that extent, we brought this BRE, Business Rule Engine System, which is driving the MSME in a big way, without the intervention and underwriting special skills from my staff members. It will completely drive through system. And one more thing which we are which I have brought is, for BRE loans, we are doing, we are having this documentation also through online, digital documentation system, that also we have brought in. That means the documentation can be done by sitting at your place only. You don't need to come to the branch, and you don't need to sign the physical documentation at the branches also. That also we have brought in for BRE. Of course, in addition to that, the CGTMSC coverage has also been increased. That also we are extending fully. Sirs, we are open to the questions. If at all you are having any doubts, we want to clarify them also. Apart from that, we are looking forward to develop a big rapport, particularly with AGRA exporters. So that's all from my side. If at all you people are having anything, please raise those questions. Thereby we can answer those things also.
What SBI is giving.
Thank you so much, sir.
I wanted to put the words of gratitude on record for these wonderful services. How that India is transforming, SBI is one of the best examples. We have seen the SBI as a Sarkari bank right from the Chipitola to just for the depositing the government dues and taking so much of the pains for that. and transforming to the 10 lakh crore marketing cap,
Yeah.
10 trillion marketing cap
Yeah, no,
company.
we reached 12 trillion also, but
Yeah,
right now
so
because of this market
10
structure.
10 trillion, yeah, at the moment. But I've seen the figures. There's a wonderful transformation. To my fellow exporters, I recommend SBI is one of the best service providing bank at the moment.
Thank you, sir. And in addition to this point, we have developed our state-of-the-art branch also recently opened by my CGM. Our SME Nehru Place, Sanjay Place branch has been totally revamped. And you can visit the branch and enjoy the ambience over there also. Under my DGM's leadership, he has totally transformed the branch. Anything else, sir?
I would request Mr. Anuj Chaudhary to come forward and go through with your presentation about the export factoring. Please come.
We are member of FCI. FCI means Factor Chain International, that regulate all the factoring companies across the globe. Like you have worked under the transaction of LC, letter of credit. So LC is regulated by ICC, International Chamber of Commerce. Just similar to that, there is a international government body that is called FCI, Factor Chain International, and we are part of that organization. Throughout the globe, there are 400 financial institutions that comes under FCI. Like in India, we are covered under FCI member. So considering time constraint, I will be concluding in a brief discussion. Factoring is a tailor-made product package of service designed to improve your cash flow and secure your debt by offering a competitive edge in your market. So factoring means that we cover your overseas buyer 100% and we prepayment your invoices. So it is a package of multiple services, and we do collection service on behalf of your. So the main features of factoring is purchase open account receivable, where you have certain payment term with your buyers like 30 days, 60 days or up to 180 days. You can choose factoring as a tool for your post-shipment finance. We do prepayment up to 90%. We do also collection on behalf of you and of all the follow-up for your due or overdue invoices. And who can use it? Exporter offering credit term. Any exporter who is offering any credit term to its overseas buyers, you can use export factoring. And we also mitigate risk by covering buyer up to 100%. Currently, if you use any insurance or other ECGC product where your buyer is covered up to 80% or 90%, but in factoring you can cover your overseas buyer up to 100%. Exporter aiming to expand export sales. So different exporter use export factoring as a differently. So you can use this as a sales tool also, because the territory that you have not explored, you can use factoring as. You can share buyer detail with us within 5 to 6 working days. We will confirm that how buyer is, how potential buyer is. So we can confirm limit, and then you can start your business with your buyers. And last option, who can use it? Company looking to strengthen their balance sheet. So large corporate and small companies also using it, because this product is off balance sheet product. Like if you use any bank finance, that reflect your balance sheet as a debt, but export factoring limit will not reflect on your balance sheet. It will be off balance sheet product, because this is called non-recourse facility. So these are the product export that we offer: export factoring, non-recourse, domestic factoring, recourse, and non-recourse. These are the 3 core products that we offer. Export factoring is non-recourse facility. I have already discussed it, so will not take much time, and we'll move to next slide. So benefit through export factoring, I already discussed in previous slides, but still again taking credit risk reduction, no buyer risk, credit evaluation and monitoring. You can get your buyer assessed through us without any charges if that is based in USA and Europe. But if buyer is based in Middle East and Africa, then there is nominal fees for evaluation of buyer. Improved cash flows. So most of the important aspect for any exporter or any manufacturer is liquidity. So we do prepayment up to 90%. So this issue is sorted by the export factoring. Reduced bad debts, because we cover your buyer up to 100%, so obviously your bad debt is reduced. ledger maintenance, this is the also part of export factoring. Off balance sheet exposure I have already discussed, because if you choose factoring and debt is reduced from your balance sheet, you will upgrade your credit rating. Like any credit rating agency, if you speak with, they will support and prefer export factoring. So this slide already has been discussed with Ajay sir, and so few part has been taken, because currently till last few weeks export factoring in export factoring subvention was not available, but as Ajay sir has already mentioned, now you can avail 2.75% subvention benefit in export factoring also. So it will reduce your factoring cost also, and it will help you to grow your business. So these points already have discussed, so I will not go again. So these are the some basic differences between factoring and other bank finance. So risk allocation, non-recourse facility in factoring offered, so it will not reflect as a debt on a balance sheet. Asset charges, we do not create any charge creation. Third is collateral, we do not ask for any PDC, we do not ask for any collateral security. Balance sheet impact, already mentioned that it is a off balance sheet product. Receivable are assigned, not hypothecated. Overdue charges. In factoring, there is no overcharges. Like if you are having 60 days payment term with your buyer and your buyer make payment on 75 days, there is no overcharge, overdue charges. We will charge only normal rate of interest that we have agreed. Next is collection and follow-up. All these points we have already discussed. So in a concluding point, I will be discussing two example in my export factoring career. One exporter based in Noida was having turnover of 300 crore. And he was dealing with the USA buyers, and buyer was having almost 3,000 retail store in USA. So I visited that particular client and requested for factoring. So he told me that I have one of the major buyer and we do not require factoring for that buyer. So he shared two more buyer details with us, but he did not share buyer details of main buyers. He was exporting almost 70% of it total turnover to that buyer. And this incident happened in 2019 December. In June 2020, I got a call from CFO that Anuj, we discussed that particular buyer name was Lucky International. कि उसमें कुछ हो सकता है क्या? मैं सर अपना ओरली डिस्कशन हुआ था, नथिंग मोर, तो वी कैन नॉट डू एंड तो अभी फ्यू मंथ बैक आल्सो आई हैव मेड दैट पर्टिकुलर एक्सपोर्टर 3.4 मिलियन उनका बैड डेप्ट हो गया, क्योंकि उन्होंने इतना कंफर्ट था कि ECGC भी नहीं लिया हुआ था, कि बोले हमारे प्रमोटर जो है जाते हैं डायरेक्ट कॉफ़ी पीना है, सब कुछ है. तो वी इंडियन हैव ए माइंडसेट कि जब तक हमारा चालान ना कट जाए तब तक हम हेलमेट नहीं लगाते, जब तक एक बार मैक्स ना घूम आए तब तक हम मेडिक्लेम नहीं कराते. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द एक्सपोर्टर्स अवेलेबल हेयर टू यूज़ फैक्टरिंग एज ए एक्सपोर्ट टूल to increase their sale, to mitigate your risk. And for any query, you may contact me. I am also available tomorrow in AGRA, and we are doing with some exporters in AGRA, and all the industry mostly we are covering. And most of the countries that are not under restricted list, are not in sanction list, we are doing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anuj Chaudhary ji, Anuj Kumar, and IUC Singhal ji for presentation about the services of export factoring. With this, we have come to the point, and we are opening this forum for 5 minutes Q&A. If anyone has any issue related to EPM, Export Promotion Mission, or we will, if anyone has any issue, yes, Najir Ahmed sir. Yeah, suggestion.
No, I'm going to have a direct question to you, First of all, जब मैं factoring करता हूँ, you give me 90%, okay? What about the 10%, you keep it as a margin?
90% मैंने आपको प्रीपेमेंट किया है. Remaining 10% we do कि आपका बायर के साथ डाइल्यूशन हो सकता है, कोई रिजेक्शन हो सकता है, that's why. Otherwise जो आपका इनवॉइस कवरेज रहेगा, that will be 100%. इन केस आप जैसे मैंने 90% आपको प्रीपेमेंट किया एंड उसके बाद बायर के साथ कोई इवेंचुअलिटी हो जाती है, सो वी विल बी पेइंग टू रिमेनिंग 10% आल्सो.
That means, you're keeping that as a margin, it's a kind of a lien,
Margin for dilution and other.
नहीं, why are you taking on the negative side, मैं हमारे गोपाल भाई से भी बात करना चाहूँगा. See, when I give you an invoice of say 50 लाख रुपए का, you give me 45 lakhs, 5 लाख रुपए आप रख लेते हैं. In case, there's any problem. 90% के लिए am I secured if he's not paying you any money whatsoever, even if he's not paying you one penny, am I secured over there or you're going to recover from me? कोई भी कस्टमर ये नहीं बोलता है कि मैं नहीं दूंगा, वो यही कहता है कि आपका माल खराब है.
सर क्वालिटी डिस्प्यूट जो होता है थ्रू आउट द ग्लोब, नाइदर इन एनी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी, नाइदर इन फैक्टरिंग कंपनी, अदर देन क्वालिटी लाइक insolvency, Chapter 11, bankruptcy, that is completely covered.
So what's the advantage, between you and the bank, if I'm doing my banking, and if I'm giving my documents to the bank, and the bank is purchasing my documents or paying against those invoices, so what's the difference and what advantage do I get from you, over the bank?
So sir, there are different advantages. Like first of all, bank will not provide credit coverage on your buyers. We will provide 100% coverage. Second is that bank facility जो provide करते हैं, that is against collateral and security. We do not ask for any collateral security. थर्ड, आपके बायर के साथ अगर ओवरड्यू हो जाता है, सपोज करो 60 डेज का है, आप भी अपने सप्लायर को कमिट करते होंगे कि मैं सो एंड सो डेट को पेमेंट करूंगा, बट मोस्ट लाइकली है कि वो 15 दिन 30 दिन डिले हो जाता है. सो दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इज अवेलेबल इन.
That's something different, What I'm trying to say, when I give you the documents, you give me 90%, I should go home and sleep, The liability should not be mine, because when I'm giving a higher rate of interest,
Yes, sir,
if he's not paying,
not for 90%, you 100%.
There's no liability, तो then.
No, but remaining 10% भी covered है आपका. In case अगर buyer ने bankruptcy file कर दिया, I will be paying remaining 10%.
अच्छा, even in case of bank. And what about the situation where the client is not taking delivery of the goods, उसमें क्या position है?
देखिए, जब रीजन क्या है फिर डिलीवरी नहीं लेने का?
कई दफ़ा होता है कि माल पहुंचने से पहले बैंकक्रप्ट हो गया.
हाँ, उस केस में जो इनको टर्म होता है आपका, जैसे FOB इनको टर्म है, तो जैसे ही आपकी गुड्स शिप ऑन बोर्ड होती है, आपका रिस्क खत्म हो जाता है, फैक्टरिंग कंपनी का रिस्क स्टार्ट हो जाता है.
Whether it takes delivery of the goods or not,
Yes.
Okay. And what's the cost,
So that depends on buyer's profile, buyer's country, and tenure with your buyer. But approximately now, because subvention has come, so it will be around 6 to 8% per annum.
Thank you नाजिर अहमद सर, थैंक यू अनुज कुमार जी. इससे पहले कि हम राजीव वासन सर को इनवाइट करें फॉर समिंग अप एंड वोट ऑफ थैंक्स, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट वन स्टैंडी इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ राइट साइड ऑफ माई hand. I would request all of you, those who are not member of you, we request you to just go scan the QR code. You will be directly redirected to the DGFT portal, and from there you can be easily process the membership if any difficulty is found. My number is also there. We request all of you to please join us with the few because financial is going to start from April onwards. Now I would like to request Rajiv Vasan sir, Vice President, AGRA Footwear Manufacturer Exporter Chamber, for summing up and vote of thanks, and to request for the dinner also.
On behalf of AFMEC, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Ajay Sahay, DG and CEO of Federation of India Export Organization, on the outreach session of FTA-Driven Export Acceleration and Global Trade Opportunities in Emerging India. We are deeply thankful to Dr. Ajay Sahay for sharing his valuable insights on how the free trade agreements can accelerate India's export potential and open new global trade opportunities. Sir, your extensive experience and clear perspective on international trade policies have provided immense value to all participants, exporters and industry stakeholders which are present today. Your guidance on navigating evolving global markets and leveraging FTAs for the growth of Indian businesses has been both enlightening and inspiring. The practical knowledge and strategic direction you shared will certainly help exporters better understanding emerging opportunities of India's trade expansion. We are truly honored by your presence and thankful for the time you devoted to make this outreach session meaningful and impactful. Your continued leadership at FIO plays a crucial role in strengthening India's export ecosystem. I would also like to thank our former President, Mr. Puran Davar, Regional Chairman, CLE Northern Region, and Chairman, Development Council of Footwear and Leather Industry, Department of Commerce of Government of India, for his valuable insights of global scenario and suggestions as always. We would also like to thank Mr. Anuj Kumar, which he is not present now, the Joint Director Industries AGRA, for his useful deliberations of the new export policies of UP. I would also like to thank senior officials from the SBI, General Manager Nagendra Kumarji, Shri Sanjay Kumar Singh, DGM, AGRA, and Mr. Puneet Sharma for giving us valuable insights of how they can fund the exporters. I would also like to thank Mr. Anuj Chaudhary from Indian Factoring and Finance Solutions, who has given some interesting points for the benefits for the exporters like flexible funding and other schemes. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my colleagues from the AFMEC for their presence here, who have taken their precious time today evening for the drinks and dinner and this session. And lastly, I would definitely thank Mr. Alok Shrivastava, Head of FIO UP, to have set up the entire theme of the session and professionally compared this whole session today. Thank you, sir. And I would like to invite everyone to join us for dinner and drinks. Thank you everyone.